determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live coverage Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hello everybody and welcome to Apex Racing TV for the final round of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Hello everybody, my name is Andrew Woodhouse. I'm joined by Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. I'll be bringing them in very soon for this final round of action here at Road Atlanta in the United States. First of all, we're going to see how to tackle this famous circuit with our track guide. We'll go over to that now.
Welcome everyone to Road Atlanta. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide in the Ford Mustang. And today we come to you from Braselton, Georgia, located just northeast of downtown Atlanta. This track was constructed in 1969 on 750 acres of farmland and quickly became a mecca for road racing, featuring legends like Peter Gregg in his 1976 BMW and the great Paul Newman. The first winner at Road Atlanta was Vic Elford in his Chaparral 2J in 1970. Road Atlanta lives on today, hosting major road racing events, including the Petit Le Mans race held here each year. This track is full of elevation changes, as you will see on our track guide around this 3.5-mile road course through the red clay hills of Georgia. We start our track guide coming down out of turn 11 into the final corner here. The starts of races across this start-finish line are very exciting, as you'll see coming into turn 1. Drivers will sometimes go 2-3 wide into this corner, trying to get that edge to come up this hill to one of the blindest corners on the track. Turn 2. Still looking, there it is. Now into turn 3 to the right. Drivers will get a good quick run through here to head towards one of the most famous areas on the track, the S's. Down through this hill, back to the left, back to the right, hard on the brakes for this next uphill blind corner. Coming up out of 5 and down the straightaway. Short little straight, heading towards 6 and 7. Two very important turns on the course. Want to get a good run through 6, get a nice wide entry to set up for 7. You want to get a good rotation here, get that good launch off this corner as this takes you down the longest straightaway on the track and the highest speed section of the track. Drivers in the Mustang will probably reach speeds of 130, 135 mile an hour on this straightaway, but coming down into the next section is so critical. Great overtaking opportunities here, as you do have slipstream on this straightaway. But 10A and B here are very tight. It's a real tight chicane. Got to get that nose to set at the bottom of the apex, come back up out of the apex, up to turn 11 under the bridge here, blind entry down the hill to turn 12, the final corner on the track, and back to the start-finish line. Very fast 3.5-mile course as we come down into turn 1 once again. That is your track guide for Road Atlanta. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, welcome back. That's how you tackle Run Atlanta. We've been here a few times. Alex Simpson over the last few months. It's quite a good one, isn't it? And should provide some excellent racing.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a fantastic end to the season.
Adam, Bath, bring you in there, mate. Just give us a quick rundown of the championship situation before we start the evening's racing.
Okay, we're heading down the back straight. Yeah, we've got a few things to factor into the equation. Of course, if you're new to the series, we do have the drop score in effect. Mike Zam leading the points, Pasquale Iannucci by 15 points, whereas a 15th place finish as a drop score. So Mike Zam basically has the championship wrapped up by an absolute shocker. Iannucci, him and Mikey Grems are pretty close. If Iannucci has a rough finish, then Grems could take the runners-up spot in the Mazdas. It is sort of close between Hartley and Allen. Here they come through the final chicane and up over the crest. We're going to get the final race meeting underway.
Yeah, Rob Hartley sees a good finish, I think, to do the same thing here, although John Allen does have the advantage of a dropped round with the lower score, and here we go. Green light is on. And it's Mike Dam versus Scott Kennedy into the first corner. It's quite a wide corner, this. Got a chance to go too wide through it, and Scott Kennedy making the most of that opportunity. And he's alongside Mike Dam here. Dam's taking a very wide line. It's a bit of a bottleneck here. Everybody getting through very, very nicely indeed. That is a good start from the Ford Mustang field. Down to third now. I don't think he's going to worry about that too much. Oh, crash! And that's Ruddock, and it was Schiffler, I think, that gave him the help. And yeah, that is Michael Ruddock, am I right? Yes, it is. Here come the Mazdas, Alex.
Yeah, good start from the MX-5s as well. Travis got away nicely, stretched the field out going through turn 1. So yeah, no issues for those guys as well. So looking good out there.
Looked like Adam Tyler Schiffler. He just tried to make a gap, didn't he? And as we so often find out here on Apex Racing TV, when you try and invent your own gap, it does not work. Comes Mike Dam to have a look on Kennedy.
Hasn't worked at all, has it? Yeah, I don't know if he's towed back to the pits, but he is very slow. Michael Ruddock. Mike Dam trying to get some positions back straight away. He was close, but looks like he got on the brakes a little bit early. Doesn't have to do too much. Mike Dam, of course, because he has that 15th place drop score, so he doesn't have to worry too much at the early going. But Scott Kennedy, he could have gone faster in qualifying if he hadn't picked up an off-track through the final corner, but he leads the field across the line to complete the opening lap, 3 tenths ahead of Mike Griffith in second place.
Yeah, of course, bad news for Ruddock in that there is no fast repair in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. You've got to take your repairs as and when they come, and it may just be too much for him already.
I heard the sound of a blown engine or contact. I think it might just be Michael Ruddock trying to get his way back to the pits. In fact, he's pulled up on the back straight and has towed back, so Michael Ruddock problems just get worse and worse for him as the battle for the lead continues to rage as we head towards the back section of the circuit, wheel to wheel.
Yeah, Kennedy versus Griffith, and Mike Griffith, incidentally, Alex, he started 4th. He's charged through the field. Oh, there's a crash between the two of them. And Griffith and Kennedy were charging into one another, Alex.
Yeah, getting their elbows out in this final race.
Here comes Stephen Thomas.
Don't worry.
Stephen Thomas for the lead.
Thomas was in 4th position at the start of the lap. And as Alex was saying, it is a 90-minute endurance race, so longer than usual.
Is Griffith going to throw it up the inside of Thomas? He does, into the chicane. Very tight. On, and is Griffith going to try and get up the inside? I'm surprised Thomas didn't cover that one off. Going to try and go around the outside of Griffith. Griffith has to be careful he doesn't run wide. Thomas is on the grass. Doesn't bother the Ford Mustang. No, it's not got racing tyres on it, and I think you can see that in it going wide through the grass, and being fairly capable. And it's very, very close racing here, Alex. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing between them at the moment as well. So, yeah, if we can have 90 minutes of this, guys, well, we'll be happy.
No, that might be more action we've seen all season, and that's saying a lot, because we've had a fantastic season here on Apex Racing TV in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
fastest lap of the race. I know it's pretty irrelevant in the early stages of the race, but it was Liam Wright with a 1:32 dead. He was down in 9th position, so it shows how focused these drivers are, fighting each other at the front of the race. Mike Griffith already starting to stretch his legs, half a second, and now Scott Kennedy, the man who starts his second on the grid, could have gone quicker, as we were saying. He now wants to try and get that second place back, because he can see Mike Griffith already starting to disappear up the road.
Well, there was only 3.5 seconds, Adam, covering the top 11 drivers at the end of the second lap. And, well, it doesn't look like it's going to spread out that much on this one. Mike Dam's having a look, but remember, Mike Dam does not need a really wonderful finish, Adam. He's only got really got to get inside the top 10, and that's pretty much going to secure him the championship, providing a disaster doesn't happen. He's up the inside here.
Going to go for the final spot on the rostrum here as they go for the final corner to complete the third lap. Mike Dam meets as Alan Prosthead here on here at the moment, so he can get to the finish and get the points on the board. Of course, a 15th place drop score. Any worse than 15th place for Mike Dam, and he could be in trouble. Well, there's only 17 cars here.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, Alex, it's probably going to be a DNF for Dam that's going to give his rivals any opportunity to get through. I mean, Dam's already won the title last season, of course, and looking to do that again.
Yeah, and of course he has had a couple of disconnects this season as well. So, you know, those random failures can crop up. This is why he's got that 15th already. So, you know, it could easily happen again. It's worth pointing out that Iannucci obviously has a chance to win the championship. It's an outside one. He obviously has to have an absolute fantastic race. Really, I think anything less than a win is going to make it very, very difficult. No, Mikey Grem's tonight as well, so he's probably second place isn't under too much threat.
He can have a go then, really, can't he?
Yeah, exactly. So you know,
he
really can give it all. Steve Thomas, he probably has the best opportunity to move up into third, obviously with Grem's not around, so good race for him. And of course, he's sitting in P2 right now, so that's exactly what he needs.
That fine balance, though, Alex, between, you know, pushing as hard as you can, you got an outside chance to win the championship, and, you know, still making sure it's neat and tidy, and you know, thinking about your tyre management and all the things you would normally do. So you can put that extra bit of effort in, but you can go too far the other way, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah, very easy. And you know, I think strategy is going to be quite important. So this big long straight, obviously, you gain a load of time in the draft in both classes. A little bit of a battle for the lead in the MX-5s right now, as Svenke goes to the lead. Sort of fairly standard MX-5 slipstream down that back straight. They get enough that they're going to be able to get by almost every lap down there, I would think. So John Allen just doesn't really fight it, settles in for second place for the moment, and he'll be, I'm sure, trying to get back to the front the next lap.
It's kind of been how it's been all season, isn't it, with these guys? With Schwenke, Allen, Holmes, Hartley, Payton, and then kind of tagging along Richard Losper. That's kind of been the order, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. They're trying to replicate the Moto3 race from the weekend in the Czech Republic. I think everyone all right with each other in the Mazda MX-5 class in the early going as they head through the S's. You can see the two teammates there of Holmes and Hartley. Holmes with the blue wheels and the blue roll cage, with Hartley the yellow rims and yellow roll cage. Whilst we look at this battle, I can say that Mike Dam is up into third position, got past Scott Kennedy, so the championship leader back up into the podium positions after starting on the pole position.
Our third position now then, so Dam making his way forward again, having started on pole, and he was only fractionally quicker though than this bunch, wasn't he? In very, very close qualifying times, really. The top six separated by only 1.5 tenths of a second, and you can see that with your eyes here, as it's a very, very close pack. The man who is probably overachieving at the minute, Alex, is Jeff Jacobs, and he's qualified half a second off, but you can see that with a little help from the slipstream and with these guys being quite tightly packed, Jacobs has got some has had some fairly clear air, and he can push on and really stick with this pack.
Yeah, he has. I mean,
he's a better racer than the qualifier usually anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely moves, want to move forward, and like we said, I think if you can stick with through the first couple of sectors, you can really use the draft in that straight just to close a couple of tenths of a second up as well, and you can use that. There might even be a half a second available on this track with the draft. So
it looks like it's one of the few tracks where the Mustang is getting a nice benefit from that, as because we saw Mike Dam closing in at the end of that long straight as well on Thomas, and well, he's going to try and get through surely soon. But again, they've got time. An hour and a half is, it's a decent length race around here. We've had about 10 minutes of action so far. We've just finished lap 6. So yeah, about 60, 70 laps, you'd imagine.
Dealer side by side. It's a good little battle actually, all the way down in 13th, 14th, 15th.
Wow, yeah. 4 cars on screen. Throw a tea cozy over them, as Mr. Woodhouse once said, and
and Paul Smith as well. I have to give due credit to that line, to him as well.
Only outside does go Monaghan, and that is him into 13th place for now. He leaves the other 3 to squabble amongst themselves. Katila there in 14th place, 15th Scott Brooks where he started, and Raymond Bader Jr. up 1 position, a beneficiary of Ruddock's mishap on the opening lap of the race. So these guys all fighting over a spot in the top 15.
Kind of a strange season for Katila, Adam. I know last season he was usually a little bit higher up the order, wasn't he? Usually in the top 10, and I don't know. He's been sort of loitering around the lower midfield this season, and I don't know. Be wanting to finish on a high really, and try and come back for next season a little bit stronger.
Yeah, he's currently in 8th position in the GS Pro. Obviously, when you merge the Open category, he might be a bit lower down than that. So, wants to end the season on a high. Road Atlanta, a popular track with the drivers. Similar to Mid-Ohio in terms of the strategy. We'll get into that in a moment, as it looks like he might be shaping up a move here.
Definitely not similar to Mid-Ohio in terms of the on-track racing, though.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Much better here. Road Atlanta, it was a track that I never used to really like at all, and then I got into some GT3 racing last year here, and it just clicked, and it's one of those Marmite tracks, Alex. I think people either love it or they don't.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I used to absolutely hate it, and then they had that, I think it was the World Cup that I talk about, that we did around here, a lot of practice in the...
the one that you and Adam took each other on, was that a different one?
I was commentating on Alex getting rolled over in that one, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was the C-Spec, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that race meeting until one of my teammates decided to send me on a barrel roll lap 1 in the final. Always useful when you're in a team event.
There you go.
We'll get into
Mike Dam's getting close actually to Thomas now, Adam. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 3 tenths, Mike Dam. So see what the slipstream can do. We'll get into the strategy at some point. I'm itching to let myself loose with the strategy info for all of you viewers. But yeah, Mike Dam trying to get the 2nd position, but no way through just yet. Look at the speed he carries into that final chicane. Turns 10A and 10B. For those of you that like that kind of stuff, I'm going through the final corner. The right-hander here, the final corner on circuit, turn 12, and on to lap 9 of the race. Mike Dam in 3rd position. Right, Mid-Ohio then. Last week, the top 3 drivers only took 2 tyres in their pit stops in the Mustangs. We're being told that the strategy may be repeated this week on either the last pit stop or the first. Of course, 2 pit stops happening because it is a 90-minute race. And this is all down to the fact that it's a pretty cool track temperature today. It is 27 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees air temperature.
That's not too bad at all. It's quite mingling. Yeah,
there you go.
Thomas, bit of air there, and is that going to be enough for Dam to sneak through? Thomas actually looks like he might have damaged the car, Alex, to the front right there. That's
a high curve there, and if you do run out that wide, it affects it like that. I was surprised to see that line through the track guide, to be honest, out there, because normally at most it's sort of 2 wheels onto the higher curb, not all 4, because that is what can happen when you get all 4.
Wasn't Stephen Thomas that did the track guide, was it?
Yeah, it could
I don't know, because that is living dangerously. We've seen many drivers over the years come a cropper at that particular corner. It's a difficult one.
Maybe if you put your McLaren on those curbs, Alex, it wouldn't be going straight for very much longer.
No, the worst one is the Renault with its 16 millimeters worth of clearance. It doesn't appreciate it too much. Kennedy in the background gets himself all out of shape coming up over the hill.
He almost has to get his elbows.
Now they've got a little bit of traffic to deal with as well.
He almost had to elbow Iannucci out of the way, didn't he, to stay in front? As Iannucci looking for the inside. He's hit him. And round goes Kennedy a bit.
Well saved.
Yeah, very well saved.
Save from Kennedy.
And well driven by everyone else to avoid him as well.
Yeah, it was
especially
brilliant.
by Kevin Ford and Jeff Jacobs.
Who was it in the MX-5 as well that they were getting by? Because that was brilliant to see that coming in.
Edgar Sancinelli.
To get round the outside. Somehow Kennedy still gets by Sancinelli in that corner, be it his save was that good. So
well played by Scott Kennedy, but just put him down the order.
Racing with disaster with the traffic for the first time today then, and that was only 2 of the cars towards the rear of the MX-5 class. What will be going on when they get to the front? Half a dozen or so who are still broken away at the front.
Well, we need to have a look at this. Is John Allen going to try and pit a little bit earlier as well? We said that we spoke to him the other week and he said that's his preferred strategy, is try to get in early. But with a 2-stop race, Alex, you risk not being able to make it if you come in too early, of course, because you don't want to stretch it out too long.
Yeah, I think the importance for Allen is he needs to do something to obviously try and break away. We've seen this in the last couple of events, drivers just doing some alternate strategies just to get themselves out of the draft.
That could be a slowdown, I think, for Peyton if he's not too careful.
No, I think you're okay there on the exit. I don't think you get anything. It's cut too much of the inside. But yeah, with Allen, really the only driver who could take this championship away from Hartley. Yeah, he's going to need to somehow get himself to the front. I know he plays it close on the numbers, and he's going to need to do that tonight, I think, to try and get this this victory. Of course, he has an 8th place to drop tonight, so he's he's got that advantage. If he can, if somehow Hartley can have just sort of outside the top 3, and Allen can get a win, then he might have an opportunity here to pick up the championship. So he's got everything to race for out there.
We have seen in the past he's run it a bit too close on the numbers as well, John Allen, now. But here he comes under the slipstream, Adam. He's going towards the chicane. He's not going to have a go. He's fuel saving 100% because he's not even trying to have a go there. He only moved out slightly to block David Payton.
I think staying in the pack is critical for these drivers at the front if they want any chance of victory. The tyre wear is not going to be too important in this class, but you can see there that John Allen gets the smallest of slides going through the final corner, and it allows David Payton the slimmest of opportunities to try and get up the inside into turn 1. But John Allen wise to that move, and he continues to apply the pressure to Travis Schwenke. But yeah, just to finish the point, tyre wear on the Mazdas won't be a factor tonight, and we'll probably only see them taking 2 tyres on each stop, or they could take 4 on the first stop and no tyres on the second stop. So that is the strategy that could be interpreted in different ways for the drivers in the Mazda MX-5 class.
Tough one, isn't it? What do you reckon, Alex? Do you reckon taking maybe less tyres even on the first stop? As Payton goes by John Allen, and I think John Allen might have just let him go there.
I guess it depends if you think you're a bit quicker than these guys, if they're sort of having a little battle and slowing each other up and getting out front. Allen feels like he could actually pull away from sort of Schwenke without them sort of drafting him. Then that would to me would make sense to do that sort of strategy. He feels like he's the fastest person out there.
With the slipstream here.
Yeah, but if he's not, then you want to stay tucked in and perhaps go as absolute long as you possibly can, so that you're taking as little amount of fuel as you possibly can through the next 2 stints, and try and break away through the actual by taking this.
Well, there we go.
He's in.
There's that one. He's in very early.
11 laps completed.
Said he might try this, and he's trying it.
Right, I'll try my best to see how many tyres John Allen takes in his pit stop. He's coming down the pit lane now.
A very early visit to the pits for John Allen. 2nd place in the championship.
But the car goes onto the jacks. He's taking the left side tyres.
I wonder if he's thinking like the leaders are going to be with them maybe at the end of the this lap, maybe next lap. You know,
You'd be
in
right,
the,
yeah.
in the Mustangs, and he's thinking, well, if I pit this lap, I'm guaranteed not to get held up. If I pit next lap, I might.
That's a very good shout. That's the old thing that I used to say about the F1, isn't it? If you're in a slow car, pit as late as possible to avoid the blue flags. And, that's kind of what John Allen's doing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perhaps one lap too early if that was the case, I think. I don't think
it might have factored into his decision making, though, at least.
Yeah,
it will be happening very, very shortly.
Because Griffith is just coming onto the back straight now, so it's going to take a couple of laps for him to still get there.
Here comes David Payton, though. He's just literally filled up the void left by John Allen and is now going to take the lead with what looks like relative ease. Maybe Travis Schwenke's just saying, if you want it, David, you can have it. But yeah, new leader, David Payton, he does overshoot the first pass of the chicane. Is he going to pit at the end of this lap? That'll be interesting to see. Anyone else going to be going the early strategy?
Schwenke's up his inside, it'll be interesting to see. And Schwenke goes through again, he says, thank you very much. I will take the lead back. Going to be short-lived.
Cat and mouse this.
John Allen, 18.3 seconds. What's the word on
Allen.
The tyres for Allen?
2 tyres.
Adam?
2 tyres, just left sides only.
This is absolutely perfect for John Allen, though. These guys fighting it out. And Jordy Fike at the back of the group as well, with Richard Losber. Rathje was in 7th place then. And making his way into the pit lane now. And here comes Payton again.
It makes sense for it to be left side tyres, of course, because most of the long corners are left-handers, and through, goes David Payton into the lead. Right-handers, I should say.
Right-handers, yeah, but that's fine. We knew what you meant.
Leader's definitely going to be on at the end of this lap now, though. We'll see Griffith in the background.
Do you reckon these guys might jump in the pits then and see if they can do a similar thing to what John's doing? They've seen it work in the past for John, so...
Being in the pack,
so busy fighting each other.
Maybe.
Being in the pack so important. Could we see them all come in?
Well, if they may follow the first person, it might be like the first person to blink type thing with these guys.
Oh, he's already arrived. Here comes Griffith up the inside, like a steam train here.
Payton, Schwenke, Holmes, Hartley, Losber and Fike.
That instantly affects Losber, doesn't it?
What a late move into the pits there by Travis Schwenke.
Yeah, a few of them in, look.
And I think that's Schwenke seeing that coming, Alex, and going, yep, I'm getting out of the way of these guys.
Yep.
Because then maybe it's another 5 or 10 laps before they get affected again.
Right, where is John Allen?
Yeah, exactly that. And they've got, there's a whole group that were going to come through in that next lap. You'd have had Dam, Thomas, Iannucci, Ford, probably Kennedy would have all come through on that lap. So they'd have been held up quite a lot, and it's going to separate that MX-5 pack. You can see
left side tyres again for Schwenke, and right side tyres, 4 tyres then for Travis Schwenke and Jordy Fike.
John Allen will then, as a result, get by both of those guys, so that puts him up into 7th in class for now.
Here he comes. Schwenke out now, so Allen leading them by
quite some way. Yeah.
7 seconds or so.
7.5 seconds, something like that.
That's not a lot, but I mean, it's a lot in this car, I guess.
Well, what will be interesting is the comparable lap times
as well.
After. Quite a way again. No, not quite a way. He was 3 seconds slower, so Rathje obviously had a reasonable stop as well.
Yeah. But that's the difference then. I reckon Rathje, well, that'll have been 2 tyres for him.
Right then, David Payton, he's now in the thick of the Mustang action, but will he be coming into the pits at the end of this lap? This is lap 14. He is going to stay out. The same for Brian Holmes, who's currently in 2nd, and for Rob Hartley in 3rd. So it looks like these guys are in for the long haul.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we're going to be going for a commercial break soon as well, but I think we're going to see this round of pit stops develop.
Worth pointing out as well, at some point during this race as well, we're going to see if we can't drag Frank from Ricmotech up and just have a little 5-minute chat with him just about the series and see how long he's been covering it for and next season and things like that.
Jeff Jacobs into the pits, the same for Michael Burgett and Russell Ruddock. So the Mustangs are beginning their round of pit stops. From what we've been told by our admins, it should be the left side tyres taking the most of the wet, and away goes Jeff Jacobs. I believe that was a 2-tyre pit stop for him. I was just looking at my stats, but 16.5 seconds stop for Jacobs. He's away.
I was on the grass there as well, so it's definitely getting a bit tight out there now. I think this is a good strategy call from Alan. Where is he right now? I mean, he's still having to deal with some traffic, of course, out there, but not coming at him all at once, I think. Like I said, I think next lap is going to be the important one to see, because that will be Spanky have done a full lap on his new tyres, and we can see what the actual differences between the two, how much difference that extra new rubber on the right side of the car is going to make. So, yeah.
Oh, good battle here between Branton Whitworth and Tyler Schiffler in the Mustangs. They're hitting each other as they go through the penultimate corner, and now through the final right-hander at turn 12. This is over what about is 7th and 8th. As Leon Wright comes into the pits, the black and white Mustang versus the yellow and black. Whitworth holding on here as they come up the hill. A good race so far from Brandon. Of course, we're in the middle of a pit stop phase, but he has gained 6 positions so far.
Yeah, one of the biggest movers out there. Matthew Taylor also 6 positions up from where he started. That's mostly because of the pit stops being taken by Jacobs, Burgett and Ruddock.
The 7 gains for Matthew Gatila.
Yep.
We have got Frank jumped into the interview channel, so I reckon we should drag him in, and we can see these pit stops out, and then go to our commercial break after a little chat with him as well. If that's all right with you guys?
Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Good evening, Frank. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here in the booth.
Sure, no problem. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. Just enjoying this battle between Brandon and Tyler right now.
Yeah.
But what a fantastic season we have. Good to see that we've got a bit of a championship showdown going on with the MX-5s. Looking like Dam is fairly comfortable out there right now. But have you, watching from the sidelines, supporting the series? Have you enjoyed the series?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I join in every week and watch these guys just about every week, and it's amazing to watch them. They're such talented drivers. They do so well, and I'm extremely proud to sponsor these guys.
I mean, this is the 8th season, I believe, of this series. How long have you been supporting them at the moment?
This is the 3rd season that I've been sponsoring them. But ever since I joined on, I've enjoyed it so much. I don't expect this to change.
Good stuff. Well, I mean, we obviously have said it on the air as well. You know, it's one of the most sort of well-organised series that we deal with from the broadcasting side. So I guess that translates over from your side as well. You know, there's obviously a lot of series out there that are asking for sponsors and things like that. So, you know, when these guys put it together, you know what you're going to get is a decent package.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, they're extremely organized. I can't ask for anything more out of the league. They just do such a good job. They do such a good job. The admins have everything organized. We've got some changes planned for next season that we're going to be unveiling to the drivers after the race tonight. I think they'll be very excited about. But these guys are always looking to take things to the next level with this league, and I think they're doing a great job. They get me involved, make sure that everything's going to work well from my perspective as well. So I really enjoy working with these guys.
So the $6 million question has to be, when are we going to see you in one of the cars competing in a race?
You read my mind on that one. I
Come
was just
on.
going to ask you that.
I'm a builder, not a racer. I've come to terms with that.
That's no good.
I've come to terms with that. It's no, you don't want to see me out there.
There's not even a guest drive in the works.
Not
maybe?
even a guest driver.
Oh.
No.
You come in the booth
I
a bit,
wouldn't subject
a few
myself
more
to that type of
times.
embarrassment. But,
Yeah. If you come in the booth a few more times, I tell you, Adam and Woody, they'll wear you down, because I tell you, for the best part of 2 years, they've been trying to get me into the Kia to do a race in the touring car league that we cover, and I was like, no, never, and I did one this year. So yeah, be careful.
And he
on
enjoyed
that.
it as well, which is what
I
he's not
did
going to
enjoy
tell
it.
you.
so you're telling me I need to stay away from the broadcast booth? Gotcha.
That's it. Yeah, they'll wear you down. I tell you.
That's the takeaway here.
Adam, Andrew, anything for Frank?
Oh yes. Hi Frank. Highlight of the season so far. We've had as the Mazda MX-5 leaders come in. Could you pick out a race that stands out in your mind so far?
No, it's just they all have their good qualities. There was one a couple of weeks ago that very exciting to watch. I try to watch them all. I have to admit I can't sit and watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I usually catch it the following day in its entirety, but at night I've got too many things going on. But I'd love to just kind of keep it in the background, and I turn my head to watch what's going on. But no, there's not one in particular that stands out. I've all these drivers are great, and I've established a good relationship with many of them, and I root for them all. And so every race has something that gets me excited.
Just quickly, guys, David Payton's come out behind Travis Svenke and John Allen. So
Also,
lost a few seconds there, but not too much.
And also, just to back up on the 4 tyres, Schwenke is only 3 seconds behind John Allen, where he was 7 seconds behind when he came out of the pits. So those extra 2 tyres are starting to pay dividends as we get into the stint.
But Alan did have quite a bad lap, that last lap, that I think was probably to do with traffic or something like that, and literally lost 3 seconds there. So
Yeah.
Actually, there's not been too much between them. It's just one bad lap, but that's how it can work, I guess, with the traffic, really. So
What we said, didn't we, with the Mustangs especially? Yeah.
Holmes very close to Hartley, of course. The 2 teammates out there just working well together right now. They're definitely fuel saving as well. You're on board with Holmes for a little second there, and you can clearly see him coasting behind his teammates. So that's another alternate strategy that we're going to have to keep up with. I think the fuel saving one.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, any last questions for Frank? We'll let him go and watch the rest of this race before we head off to his commercial break.
To say, really, Frank, thanks for sponsoring the series, because it's one of the best series it's the best series that we cover, and thanks for making it possible.
Oh no, my pleasure, and thanks for your guys' support as well. You guys are doing an incredible job with the broadcast. I couldn't be happier. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Awesome stuff. Thanks very much, and thank you for jumping in and having a quick chat with us. And
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me. All right, guys.
We'll catch you again.
Yep.
Cheers, Frank.
All right.
We
Right,
say bye to Frank. Leader is in the Mustangs. Just before we get that in, before we go to the break, Mike Griffith down the pit lane, and he relinquishes the lead to Mike Dam.
Yeah, and Stephen Thomas still hanging on. So he made that one mistake, Alex, which cost him, but he's not been able to. He's not really lost a lot of ground to Mike Dam.
No, it's not. 0.7 of a second. It's hardly anything out there, so it's going to make for an interesting last hour. We'll be back, very, very soon.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. The Ricmotech Sports Car Series returns here on Apex Racing TV. We're just seeing some interesting developments in the pit stops. That is, Mike Griffith now leads the race as he did before, and we've had a good battle between Iannucci and Mike Dam, and Mike Dam might have to try and take advantage of Iannucci quickly. Pasquale managed to get through, get the undercut on Mike Dam, and it worked well.
He didn't just get the undercut, his pit stop time was a good 4 seconds quicker, so that has definitely helped Iannucci. It'll be a minor victory though, because it's not going to really help him in terms of the championship. Mike Dam still having a good race, and Mike Dam actually wants that second place now straight away. First lap out of the pits, he's picking up the slipstream off the back of Iannucci, and he's going to try and get the second place going into the chicane.
I would have thought he would have needed to have a go while the tyres are maybe a little cold for Iannucci, but not close enough down the straight. Good straight line speed for Pasquale Iannucci, Alex, and Mike Dam has to settle for third, but third will be enough, of course, for the Canadian.
Yeah, more than enough. And right now, Pat's happy just to be in front of Thomas, you know, so he wasn't really under too much threat from Stephen Thomas, and Stephen actually is still in a really good position for trying to pick up third place in the championship. So what you're looking at really is first, second and third in the championship out on track at the moment.
53 minutes to go, and yeah, this fantastic three-car duel over second, third and fourth. Iannucci misses the apex by
getting
somewhat.
close. Getting really, really close. I keep thinking there's a spun car there. From one of the camera angles, there's a car parked in the grass verge behind. I thought it was a spun orange car, which would have been either Mike Dam or I think there's one more. I think Shiflett maybe out there. As here comes Dam now. He's got a good run in. It's not the best exit.
See what speeds these.
Let's go on board with Mike and let's see what he can see. He's starting to pick up the draft nicely, Alex, this time.
Yeah, closing in a lot. You have to get really close, don't you, to get that that sort of overspeed. He's done that, and yeah, on the brakes. You'll see just in the left-hand mirror as we were on board. Iannucci's still there, but gets the job done.
Dan was quite late on the brakes there, and slightly overshot the corner, but was able to gather it all together, and actually it was pretty quick through there in the end. As Pasquale Iannucci having his mirrors full of Stephen Thomas. Looking at Scott Kennedy as well, who was up there at the very beginning. Kennedy is 8 seconds off the lead in 5th.
Update.
Kevin Ford won the league admins.
Yes, and he's only down one position. Ford really having a good season, a good end to the season, I should say, as well. Update on the Mazda MX-5s. Rob Hartley and Brian Holmes, the two teammates. We saw them in our coverage of the BSR Mazda MX-5 from last season. They are working well together. They are 1 and 2. They are yet to pit, and this makes me think, Alex, could they just be stretching it to the cusp of, because we're nearly approaching the half race distance mark now. Is it just going to be too much?
Yeah,
trying to get a one stop. It's going to close.
What do we need to get? That clock timer needs to come down to 45 minutes, doesn't it? So still 6 minutes to go.
Bear in mind as well, they need a little less fuel because they have to do the formation lap as well.
It's about 100 seconds the lap. 136 is the Mazda MX-5s are doing. Richard Losber came in at the end of the previous lap, which means that these two are the only cars bar Chris Foreman yet to make a visit to the pits. They're just coming up to the back of the Mustangs now. Are the two teammates going to come in to the pit lane now? They're going for the final corner, and indeed they both are.
Yep. So that rules that out. But
there you go.
They will only need a little splash of fuel for the final stint, so their last pit stop's going to be very, very close. So I imagine probably both drivers will take some tyres here, and then no tyres on their next stop at all. You know, as quick as they can get it.
Of course, some of our European viewers might be wondering why they're coming in at the same time, but don't worry, they don't have to stack. Get their own individual pit garage. It's similar to NASCAR really in how that works. Left side of the car is raised on the jacks. Right side tyres going on here.
Yep, so 4 tyres then, so definitely going to be just a no tyre strategy for the final one, so it'll be a splash of fuel and away.
Yep. This this should then promote John Allen to the lead, because of course he took 2 tyres on his first pit stop.
Slightly better stop though for Hartley than for Brian Holmes. A couple of seconds really.
Yeah, 2 seconds quicker. And that could split the two of them up actually, because Hartley's going to emerge from the pits ahead of Raf J, but Brian Holmes is going to be behind not just him but also Geordie Fike.
Yeah, we've got some traffic as well with the Mustangs coming through. That's Brooks and Bader.
Sure, they'll find each other on the track again in no time.
You're right, especially with fresh tyres.
Now, the last few laps I've been looking at lap times as well, just to sort of see what Travis and Alan are doing. So, and actually, Alan's been quicker, even on he's only with only taking 2 tyres. So, that's not really affecting him at all on pace. Maybe later on in the stint it might do, but right now it's not affecting him at all. Now, of course, Travis has the opportunity of just taking no tyres again on his second stop, so his stop will actually be quite a bit quicker. Maybe Alan will take 2 tyres, or maybe he won't take any in the final one. Who knows how that one's going to play out. But yeah, right now that strategy's working. He's 3.8 seconds clear. He obviously did feel like he was being held up, and that he could have pitted earlier and and get that maintain that gap.
Speaking of lap times at the front of the race as well, Mike Griffith last time round did 1:32.443. Mike Dam did 1:32.4, but the previous lap he took 1.1 seconds out of him. So I wonder if there's anything in that, or whether it's going to be pretty much the status quo from here on in.
Got Kennedy on that last lap, 31.7, which is only 4 tenths off the fastest lap of the race set by Mike Griffith. So there is still life in the tyres out there somewhere, and there's a Mustangs trying to get by the MX-5s there. I thought it was wheels between 2 Mustangs. Have a good battle between Thomas and Iannucci. This is for the final spot on the podium. Oh, having a look.
Might be soon, and by soon I mean now. Thomas having a look. Iannucci late enough on the brakes to make that one work. Griffith coming across now. What's he done? 32.2 for Dam, a 32.4. Dam blinking across the line as well. He has had some connectivity issues, Alex, throughout the season, and you just wonder. You don't want that to happen, of course, but you do worry a little bit for him when you see something like that.
Yeah, so much talk of connectivity and issues and things like that on the iRacing forums today and social media. So, you just hope and pray really that these things don't crop up in the race.
By a car running wide by Iannucci there. Now into the back section of the circuit. This could be Thomas's opportunity. A little look, and this is just allowing Kennedy to get drawn into this battle again.
Kennedy was running in the top 2 at the beginning of the race.
Well, it's no surprise, is it? Because he did a 31.8 on that last lap. Let's not forget that he nearly was on the pole position, Scott Kennedy. That's got the pace in there, and he's applying it now.
Fast driver, Kennedy. Here comes Iannucci. Sorry, Thomas. Sorry, what am I on about? Not quite close enough, is he? Unless he has a lunge. He's got a bit more pace, Stephen Thomas, though, Alex, and frustrated he's having to be stuck behind Iannucci at the moment.
Well, I think there's definitely an alternate tyre strategy going on out there right now. Iannucci used that to catch back up with the pack and try and sort of undercut, and it's worked well. Not been able to hold off Dam this time, but he's still in P3, so should anything happen to Dam, he's still in a really good position right now.
Dam today, 31.7. Was that just what you were commenting on there, Alex? Yeah, good lap from the Canadian Mike Dam. Gets the gas gap down to 2.2 seconds. There's again
1 second that he closed up that lap. So Griffith's going to come under a bit of pressure, I feel, the next few laps.
Canadian slowly twisting the knife here as we're just about halfway through the race, with still a whole round of pit stops to go in both classes. We expect the Mazdas to come in for their second stop first, or some of them anyway, and then the Mustangs to come in after that, as we are now into the second half of the race. 44 minutes to go. What's happened?
P3 in the MX5s right now.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
little battle going on, Peyton and Rathje.
Rathje having to hold around the outside of 1. It tightens through 2 and 3. Oh,
Getting out of that.
Yeah, and now we're back to this 4-car group. The first stops have worked out well for Rathje.
Definitely 7 positions gained.
You would imagine he may have to take more tyres than some of these drivers at the end, especially, well, we think that Hartley and Holmes are on a 4 then a 0 in terms of tyre strategy.
You can see, as Alex was saying, they did get split apart briefly after the pit stops, but it's taken no time at all for Hartley and Holmes to get back together again.
Yep, they've been there pretty much all season, haven't they? The teammates right there, really, with each other.
And Holmes, one of the, in fact, the only UK and Ireland driver in the field today.
Don't count out Geordie Fike as well in this one, car number 09. He is, he's been at the back of this pack for the whole race. Looked fairly strong, and if you're looking to definitely make something happen in the late going, got this pack in front of him. We wanted to charge through it, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it was the back markers just behind us getting all out of shape. But yeah, so yeah, a lot going on out there right now. You've obviously got the classes overtaking each other, as well as the leaders starting to lap the back markers in each individual class as well. So lots of traffic to deal with right now.
Look at the overall lead, boys. Look how much that's come down.
7 tenths. Mike Dan was 1.3 seconds quicker on that last lap.
But is this conservation from Griffith? Is he struggling a little bit? Is it that Mike Dam like tyre advantage at the moment? Not sure.
Whether you were basing it off qualifying pace, Griffith started 4th on the grid. As this battle in the MX5 still very tasty indeed between Peyton and Rathje. In fact, here comes Peyton around the outside of Rathje into the back section of the course. Holmes and Hartley are just trying to watch and pick their way through.
Tough to get that done around the outside there. That second right hand, they're really only one line, Alex, I think, and seem to pay for that a little bit.
Yeah, but he's going to get a reasonable run here back down the straight. It's just whether or not Hartley and Holmes are going to sit tight, or whether they're going to go through as well. Do they feel like they can run a bit quicker?
I don't think they're going to try and pass anyone, are they?
No, I mean,
freight trains here, Rathje.
Literally pushing them down there as well. So yeah, not the best of places to overtake for Tommy, it would appear.
Rathje having to take a little risk on the brakes to try and stay in that second place in that group. You will have the slipstream on Peyton in the very near future indeed.
There you go, that is Peyton through into third, and look at the gap that he's made already. That could get eradicated if the slipstream is anything to go by.
Rathje does through the first sector, and whether it's put off by Rob Hartley looking on his inside. Hartley is he doesn't really want to be having a look, really, Adam, because Jolly wants Rathje to be able to just stick with David Peyton. He wants this group to stay together, doesn't he?
Hartley has also got a championship to think about as well. He only has a 3rd place finish to replace as a drop week. So if John Allen has a good finish and Hartley doesn't, and that could open up all sorts of permutations in terms of the championship. Same with David Peyton as well. It would take a lot of luck for him to surpass John Allen.
At the moment, John Allen quite a way clear of this field.
Yeah, I think Hartley's got nothing to lose at this point. With having the 3rd place there as the buffer, he knows he's in a good, strong position. He's just got to go for it and just try and get to the front of this pack and drag it forward, so that when that second pit stop strategy comes around, they can negate the advantage that Allen's pulled out. He doesn't need to be getting held up right now. He's just got to get forward. If something happens, well, he can fall back on that 3rd place that he's currently dropping, and just hope that some of the guys out there manage to beat Allen to stop him from losing this championship.
4 of them then into the chicane. Peyton sideways, coming out of the last chicane, losing a bit of momentum and making himself very vulnerable to Rathje, who's really on the prowl here, and Tom's trying to go through on the outside line. He does have an overlap. Look
So
at that.
difficult.
That is nicely done.
Very good.
Indeed.
Very good indeed.
Is Hartley going to take this position away from Peyton? No, he's not, you see. It's just that.
I really think they've got to do that. All this battling between these guys is just slowing them down. The last lap, they sort of maintained the gap to Allen, but this lap they'll certainly lose a little bit more time, and that really is what Holmes and Hartley need to negate.
If Allen wins the race, it's going to be fairly close, is it?
We take a bit of a look.
Yeah, not 100%
which is
sure.
code word for a retirement probably for Hartley, but to be honest, that means if he's got a third place to fall back on, then really, like you say, I mean, he's in a very strong position.
John Allen has an 8th place finish as a drop week, and with some luck and a finish ahead of Rob Hartley, it could get him the championship.
But he's in the right position now, isn't he? A win is the key thing. You know, that's maximum points. Needs to stay clean.
Do what he needs to do,
get the bonus points as well for staying clean.
And then we've got Rafty, who's racing pretty much as hard as he can, it looks like.
Mike Dam has taken the lead. He leads the race. The Mustang, the championship leader, car 93, leads. Must have been a move down the back straight because they're just going into the chicane now. John Allen in as well. It's all happening. John Allen, the leader, who had taken the 2 tyres in already, and this will be almost certainly another 2-tyre pit stop.
Watching the replay, it was no, it really wasn't there. But Griffiths did get a little wide coming out of the S's. That allowed Dam to get quite close.
4 tyres for John Allen.
Yeah.
They should get into the end of the race.
Oh yeah,
now,
no problem.
With 34 minutes, is it left?
37 minutes.
37 minutes, sorry.
Oh, well that's odd. Griffiths just slowed down on the straight and let Dam through. So, yep, nothing too fancy with the overtake there. Perhaps he knew his goose was cooked and just let him have it. Because he's actually being closed in by Iannucci right now as well, so he can probably use Dam to hopefully pull him clear of Pat.
Look at this battle between Key and Sancinelli as well. That's raging away.
Over in class.
Last position on the track, really. At the moment, last car's still running, but they're having a great battle.
Very intrigued to see what happens now in terms of the lead in the Mazda MX-5s. John Allen, his pit stop time was 28.3. Of course, they're taking the 4 tyres. Compare that to the drivers that took 4 on their other stops. Peyton did 26, Hartley 29, and Holmes 31. So similar times, but it's all going to come down to the final round of pit stop to decide who's going to win this class and who could have a say in the outcome of the Mazda MX-5 Championship.
We might need some clarification at the end of this, boys.
Yeah, I think so.
If John Allen wins the race here,
still going to depend.
He
I
might
think
not
who's
win
got
the race, of course, because he's got a couple of tyres to put on, hasn't he?
Well, that's it. He's done now, isn't he? He's going to.
He put a couple of tyres on. Sorry, and Hartley is very likely not to put any tyres on.
They've gone so long; they'll just need a splash. So you're right; they could get away with no tyres. So, but yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But yeah, I think it's all going to come down to who's got what bonus points and things like that as well. So I'm not sure we're going to know straight away. That's going to be the difficult part. So hopefully we can speak to the admins and they can let us know where it stands pretty quickly.
Mike Dam's found some tremendous pace in the second half of the race. He really has stepped it up a gear. Pasquale Iannucci as well is now quicker now that he's in clear out, 132.7 last time. So he's completely dropped Kennedy and Ford. Thomas down to 6, so it's not a great middle stint for Thomas.
Oh, into the bits comes Frankie. This is it then. He took 4 tyres.
That was really, really quickly, wasn't it? You know, they only pitted just a few laps ago. Was it Spanky? Oh no, sorry, it was Holmes, wasn't it? And Hartley.
And Fike. Right, where is John Allen on the circuit then? And what will Schwenke do in terms of the tyres? Left sides. No, yeah, left side tyres again for Travis Schwenke. Geordie Fike as well, and same for Tom Rathjake. Whereabouts is John Allen on the circuit? He is just coming through the final chicane now, turn 10B.
Just 2 tyres then for Travis. Here comes Allen through the final corner.
Slow stop, even though for Travis. 28.6 seconds.
It'll be Allen into the lead then, surely. Yes, there he is.
I think Travis could have taken 4 there with the amount of time he needed for fuel.
Sorry, not into the lead, I must add, because they're not leading the race at the minute. That belongs to Robert Hartley, but
What will be net lead, possibly?
possibly, yeah. We're
As
not
it stands
sure.
right now.
And the gap is 4.8 seconds between Allen and Schwenke. Just looking at Mike Dam's scorecard for the season. Started on the pole at Daytona, finished 19th. I think that was a disconnect with about 2 laps to go. He was inside the flag. Backed that up, restored that with a win at Sebring round 2. Must have had a similar issue again at Phillip Island. He finished 19th there. Then he had back-to-back wins at Bathurst and the Glen in that crazy safety car race that me and Alex were commentating on. Infineon, he got a 2nd place. Brilliant race, that one. Imola, he got a win. Then Road America, 18th place. And then that was a crazy one as well. And then Oran Park finished 2nd, and then is on a hat-trick. A win at Suzuka and a win last week at Mid-Ohio. And he's currently leading here at, well, he was before he came into, he's just come into the pits.
Into the pits.
Here at Road Atlanta.
Kennedy in as well.
And Jacobs, and Wright, and Burgett, and Ruddock. Away goes Dam.
16 seconds, very short stop, so just a couple of tyres on the way.
And that puts Dam into 5th position. We're still waiting for everyone else to come out of their pit stops. Shows you how far ahead Mike Dam is of everyone else. Ahead of Brandon Whitworth and Scott Kennedy. Kennedy has been in for his 2nd pit stop. Jacobs just coming out of the pits now. Pretty long stop, 24.6. Taking more tyres. And Michael Burgett, Ruddock and Katila are still having to make their 2nd stop of the race then. Right, laps 37. The Mustangs are yet to make their pit stop. Mike Griffith, who leads, and led a good portion of the 2nd stint before Mike Dam caught up to him. Pasquale Iannucci in 2nd position, still hanging in there, and Kevin Ford in 3rd place. At the moment on for a podium, but of course he has to make his 2nd pit stop, and into the pits comes Mike Griffith.
Griffith in from what was the lead. Iannucci continues. See what comes of that. Griffith comes in. How many tyres is he going to take?
Still got half an hour to go in the race as well, so they're going to be on these tyres for a while.
Oh, in comes Thomas as well.
Left sides is the right hand side of the car going to get jacked up. It is 4 tyres.
4 tyres for Mike Griffith then.
Dam's going to be a long way clear in this one, I think.
Through.
Yeah, Dam's just gone through the first corner. He's up the hill now before.
That's not bad for Griffith, that. I must admit. That's not a long way behind.
Yeah, about 5 seconds. 6 seconds.
Well, he could. How many tyres did Dam take? It was just 2, wasn't it?
I have to go back and check.
Yeah, it was just 2.
So, I mean, that's not a really bad situation for Griffith, really.
Not a sad situation, is it?
No.
But this race is definitely not getting more and more absurd as they go for the right-hander.
Very good.
Half an hour to go then in the final race meeting of the season, the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service. And a reminder, we had them in the booth earlier, to head over to ricmotech.com, our sponsor, for all your latest sim racing needs.
We're going to have another break, Alex, soon, aren't we? For the races. I wonder, is it a good time to get it out of the way now?
Yeah, probably not the best way to say it, but yeah, I think actually you're right. Let's cut to the break because obviously the last half hour, what we don't want to do is miss any of the action. So yeah, let's hand it back over to the guys with the ads.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live coverage Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
We're inside the last 30 minutes of the final round in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, presented by TD's Tree Service here at Road Atlanta in the United States. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Alex Simpson with you for Apex Racing TV. And Alex, it's been an exciting race so far. We've just seen Pasquale Iannucci make his final pit stop. It's not gone exceptionally well for him.
No, slower pit stop. Definitely took, I think, 4 tyres there. Puts himself down in 6th place. Ford is just pitting now, so that's going to become 5th, I believe. But yeah, he's got a good sort of 5 or 6 seconds to catch up on the likes of Kennedy and Thomas. So I think any chance of winning this championship with Dam out in front anyway, pretty much gone for Pat. He's just trying to hold on to his P2.
David Payton's in the pits, Adam, just emerges. Well, he will emerge any second now. He was in the group with Hartley and Holmes. Allen just going through there.
Yeah, through turn 1, so that should be Allen now into 4th position. Whereabouts is Payton going to slot out there, because there is that massive menacing pack.
The head of Svenke.
And he just slots in ahead, yes. Oh, careful on the outlap. And yeah, Payton emerges in the pits then in 5th place after a 23-second stop.
Yep. Richard Losper going long, Alex, as well, it looks like. I think 2.
Yeah, Richard had a really slow stop, didn't he? 34 seconds, so he's struggling a little bit. Now I'm assuming he's going to have no tyres and a little splash of fuel as well, because he stayed out quite long, didn't he, in the last one? Yep. So, but yeah, it's interesting to see Payton 3 seconds behind Allen. 24-second stop. You got to think Hartley and Holmes, they were around Payton, and they're going to have like a 16-second stop.
Well, yeah, the gap is between Hartley and Allen 40 seconds, and it is about roughly in these Mazda MX-5s about 50, between a 46 and a 50-second pit lane time. And if you take no tyres, because these guys took 4 in the first round of pit stops, then that will cut your time down immensely.
Just to go through the overall classification in the Ford Mustang, Mike Dam's now reassumed the lead at 5.5 seconds clear of Mike Griffith. Scott Kennedy in third, and Kevin Ford, after he pitted, fantastic strategy from him, Alex. He's up to 4th position now, with Thomas and Iannucci just a couple of seconds behind.
Banging out some good races recently, Ford. I mean, he was sat in the podium position. Was it? Remember which track it was now? I mean, did well last week.
A couple of races ago, was it?
Yeah, it was a couple of races ago. He was just there in pure pace. So, and did deserved a good result. So, really has moved on.
The car.
Yeah, he's moved on a lot.
Since
we've been covering the series, so.
And knowing what happens usually when you start enjoying the car is they'll make a change to it in the next build, and and Kevin will be back to square one. Although he may be the one that takes the advantage on the next build. You never know.
Ford loves a 4th place, almost like the Arsene Wenger of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. He's only been on the podium once this season, and that was back at Imola. But he has been able to get 3 on the bounce, 4th place. Oren Parker 4th, Suzuka a 4th place as well, and Mid Ohio last week a 4th place there. Judging from what you've been saying, Alex, he must have been fighting for the podium on at least one of those occasions, and he's coming in 4th again.
They probably think they're going to win the league now after winning the Community Shield, by the way, as well.
Don't get me started. There was a video of them prior to it saying that it doesn't count as a trophy, but now they're claiming it's one, and
oh dear. It's all a big mess anyway. Is that? But it did look like quite a good game, I have to say.
Iannucci and Thomas.
Iannucci.
Oh yeah, there's battle for the spot inside the top 5 then. The 2 cars in green. Whoa!
Oh, Thomas again doing the same thing, and he almost buckled the right side of his Ford Mustang a little bit more. Now side by side.
Ford Mustang RS model.
I wanted to ask Alex his opinion, actually, as a Liverpool fan. Apparently, Barcelona might be in for Felipe Coutinho for £120 million.
What ridiculousness.
They've got a bit of money burning a hole in their pocket at the moment, haven't they, though? So
yeah, clearly.
Dear me. But,
also for Liverpool fans, the season is pretty quick. It ends in October. That's me fired as they go into the chicane. I can't talk. I support a team in the championship as they go for the right-hander. And it's 2 against 1. 2 championship clubs here as they go for the final corner. Iannucci.
For our American viewers, that's like a CFL team.
Well, Iannucci is definitely not in the is not going to be in the hunt for the championship at the moment because Mike Dam leads, and he's back, but he's back up into 5th. Oh,
yeah,
it's happening.
Using the fresh tyres there, Adam.
It's happening. Hartley versus Holmes. Where's Alan? They're coming out of the pits. Alan's on the pit straight, but it looks like it's going to be the 2 teammates that are going to resume in the lead.
And we knew that would happen as soon as they took 4 tyres in the first pit stop. We knew it was going to be such a fast pit stop, and the key thing there, really, Alex, it's not the tyres, it's more the fuel, isn't it? But it's such a small amount in.
Yeah, I mean, Holmes was 12.2 seconds, so he was very short. Hartley 16.6. I think there might be a little timing glitch there somewhere along the line because it's saying 3 stops for Holmes, so yeah, it's probably a bit more on top of that.
But this is now go as fast as you can. These 2 guys at the front.
Exactly.
Has Richard Losper come in for the second time as well?
No, not yet.
Oh, no, not me yet. He's been on his stint now for nearly 20 laps.
Don Allen does have fresher tyres, though. We know this.
And he has 4.
He has 4 of them. Yeah.
What's significant is that John Allen spent 50 seconds in the pit lane, compared to Rob Hartley, who was in the pit lane for 39 seconds. Shows you the difference there in both the fuel and the tyres, and that's what's gaining the track position. But will it be still in their favour in what is left of the race? Only 20 minutes.
Allen getting a bit of slipstream from the Mustang as well as of Tyler Shiflett, and Shiflett's a guy we thought would be challenging for the title. not really materialised like that at all. And he crashed with Michael Ruddock at the start of the race. And incidentally, Ruddock only one of 2 retirements. Dan Carrido, the other one. Didn't see what happened to Carrido, did we, Alex, at any point?
No, we didn't, but yeah, we've seen his car sort of sat in the pit lane just smouldering away for a little while.
Oh dear.
Yeah, finally it's disappeared.
Only one car out of the race, and that is Michael Ruddock. After the mess on the opening lap of the race, he's been in the pits now for a good hour. Want to get a burger? I don't know what the delicacy is in the state of Georgia. I know,
Probably a burger. I don't know.
If we're in Virginia, I know Martinsville do a good hot dog. I think that's the
Yep.
the tradition.
No, you're right. That's definitely it. Mike Dam, though. Well, he won't be thinking about what he's going to have for his tea.
Miles
Tonight, I
clear
don't
now,
think.
isn't he?
5.
Griffith's not. I mean, he's closing him down the last lap, but there's nothing between them really lap time pacing.
Kevin Ford is right with
Less
Scott
than half a
Kennedy
second,
now.
yeah.
And that gap has come down by 1.5 seconds on that one lap. And then again over the line, and this time actually Scott Kennedy was only 1/10 of a second slower than Kevin Ford, so very close out there.
Oh, good battle between Schwenke and Payton. Oh, there was just a change of position. What's happened there? But Payton has lost a place. Might have even picked up a
Not
bit of
worked out
damage.
for these two, has it really?
All of a sudden, yeah, the tables have literally turned on the likes of Payton and Schwenke, because Schwenke, after the first round of pit stops, looks in with a shout of leading the class.
Just not happened at all. One person who is getting helped a lot by this, and he's not going to factor into the final reckoning, you wouldn't think, at the front, but Richard Losborough is catching up to the front too, Alex, and he's going to be getting a nice slipstream as his car gets pretty light on fuel.
What's gone on there? Sorry, Schwenke
He's off.
compound his problems. I think there was some contact actually as well.
Oh,
Heard
it's with,
something.
it's with the Mustang 55,
Michael Burgett. Oh,
Travis Schwenke then down to...
well, I know. I bet you know the feeling of a car zooming up the inside there, Alex.
Yep. That is exactly basically what happened to me in the the World Cup, but only I got barrel rolled.
Schwenke then down to 7th position, just ahead of Jody Fike.
Oh, Ford
barreling
having
down
a
the
little
order,
lift.
it looks like.
Sorry, Andrew,
That-
just jumped back on board with Ford after watching that replay, and he was actually lifting going down into turn 1. So no intentions from Ford at the minute to make a move. So
Maybe a
he's
little
just going to be a
short
bit
of fuel,
patient.
maybe?
I don't know. This is what he was like the other week when he was having this hard battle as well. He kept lifting out of it. I was like, come on, have him. He was
Do
just
it, man.
being very patient. I was like, no, nail him now.
Kevin Ford trying to get past the Ford of Scott Kennedy for a final spot on the podium. And
Oh,
he's
he
gone for
comes
it.
now, surely. Up the inside, I think he just wanted to set him up for a better chance.
Oh, he needs to make sure he gets a good exit here, because he can easily get set up from the car behind of Kennedy.
Yeah, good exit by Ford he was.
You're right. He was brave going for it there, because you do just get opened up just to get past again. I think
Yes,
he's
set
going to have to
himself-
get seriously defensive on there. So,
Gonna have to
bit
really
early.
be late on the brakes here. To the final chicane, then turn 10.
Oh, Kennedy, so
and
late.
Kennedy, brilliant. Round the outside. Makes that one work. Kevin's got to do that all again.
Oh, it's
he
hit
nudges him.
Phone
Hello,
horn.
I'm here.
yeah.
he
Kennedy
knows by
protesting that to the admins, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
yeah. That's it. That's the level of in this series.
I'm going to go tell Kevin about what you've done. Oh, wait. He's at the inside.
I'd like to be on the stewards panel for that one.
Well, this-
So, up the inside goes forward into turn 3. I believe that counts as 3. Oh, and look at that, round the outside is Kennedy, and here comes Iannucci, and suddenly this battle for 3rd. Oh, and Iannucci involved, and look
Oh,
at
that's
that.
brilliant. That is brilliant from Pat.
Life in the old girl yet, with 15 minutes to go. It looked like
these
Iannucci.
Mustangs will be
Yeah.
put out to pasture at the end of the season.
Oh, go on, Kevin, get stuck in.
Some new ones.
Oh.
So, it is the old end of season thing, isn't it? We only need the car for one more race. Go out and do it. Unluckily for these guys, there won't be a new Mustang for next season. At least we don't think so, anyway.
We've got a trick up their sleeve there, I don't think, unfortunately.
Come on, iRacing, give us a new Mustang.
There is demand for it.
Yep.
I guess. Of course, we've got the Ford Mustang coming to the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. We had its media day last night, and it's going to be back for round 1 of the season this Sunday on Apex Racing TV at about 8:30 PM British Summer Time. That's 7:30 GMT.
Yeah, Alex was there as well. Is it going to be a good season, do you think, mate?
It looks very good that all 3 classes were extremely competitive last night. So yeah, I think that's going to be a great one to watch.
Yep.
Yeah, for any of the guys obviously that want to come and have a bit of play from this series into that series, obviously sign-ups are still open. You know, if you enjoy your Mustang and you want to come and have a play, I mean, it's a Sunday night, sort of over here
UK
in Europe,
time.
but it will work, you know, sort of Sunday during the day for those guys as well. So it'd be good to see some of the faces actually from this series jump into the Mustang class in there.
Probably have an absolute fit when they see how close it is and how aggressive they're racing.
Oh, a Mustang and a
Can
Jetta
be.
on the circuit. Now that'll be interesting.
Yep.
There's a few-
Definitely, and we're speaking of interesting, it's really not going to be, I don't think, at the front of the MX-5 category. The only thing that's going to be interesting is Hartley versus Holmes, but we know which way that's going to go. So
Richard Losper's been on his stint for 23 laps.
Oh.
That's longer than anyone
Amazing,
that I've
actually.
got written
Well,
down.
no, 24 was what the guys did on the first one, wasn't it? First stint
yes.
for Hartley and Holmes, 24. So one more lap, I think. We'll see him come in.
a lot of laps, though.
A few familiar faces, as you're just saying, in the Mazda class from back when we used to do the BSR Mazda MX-5. You've got the 2 teammates of Holmes and Hartley that are leading the way here. In fact, we always used to say that the BSR Mazda MX-5 Cup was good practice for the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
Yeah, and I think that's right. And they're proving that for a lot of the drivers here tonight, really.
I'll settle down now. Unfortunately for Kevin Ford, this has resulted in him dropping from what could have been a podium position down to 5th, back where he started.
Not
Richard
necessarily.
Losper's
I think quite easily swing back in his favour if
When they start battling, isn't it?
yeah, exactly like that. You know, as soon as Pat wants to try and get by,
Out of
needs to
interest,
do
I'll-
exactly what Iannucci did to him. You know.
I'll see what Losper does in the pits. He's changing the tyres, so it is probably going to... Oh, yeah, and away he goes. 14 seconds, 29.5 pit lane time now. Probably be about 30, 39 seconds or so.
Jordy
They're way
Fike's
down
gone
in
through.
the class, though. Yeah, like you said, and Geordie through. I mean, he's 15 seconds behind.
That's the final. That's the last car, really, on the on the same lap as the leader.
Yeah, it
But
didn't work out
Hartley,
at
so,
all. Oh, what is going? Look at the Mustangs. Look at that group, 3 wide, going into turn 1. Oh, it's very close.
Oh!
Iannucci having a look. Ford's going to have an opportunity now.
Here comes
Hooks
Thomas.
himself up the inside.
We look away from it for 1 second, and
Yeah.
they go 3 wide.
They're like the Weeping Angels or something. As they go down the hill. Sci-fi reference for you there. As we go through the left-hander up the hill on the way towards the back section. And that was
that's
again
hitting that
Iannucci.
high curve.
He loves that curve.
Well, no, it's been Thomas, hasn't it? So, green car, but yeah, that's the
but
first time I
Iannucci
think
hitting
for
the curve that
Iannucci.
Thomas hit.
Yeah.
Green car, green curb.
Going desperately to get a good run off of this corner, and Ford looks like he's got the best drive, I think. Although, here comes Iannucci.
Iannucci, if he gets his third place, he'll be up 3 positions from where he started. There you go, he cuts across, he's clear. Kevin Ford desperate to go with him. So it looks like Scott Kennedy's going to lose 2 positions in one straight here. He's late on the brakes though.
Oh, Kennedy too late on the brakes this time. He tried to, he was very late the last time, wasn't he? When he was battling with Ford, but this time just took it too far and car squirmed massively under braking and even loses out to Stephen Thomas.
Now dropping down the order then is Scott Kennedy and 6th position now, Adam.
Well, he hasn't dropped down out of the top 6 yet, but
No, not quite.
he'll be doing everything he can to get back in the race. Not too far off Kevin Ford actually, so he's got a good chance of that with just a few laps to go, less than 10 minutes here in the final race meeting of the season in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here on Apex Racing TV.
Another battle that might be developing might be the one between Jeff Jacobs and Leon Wright. They're only about 0.7 of a second apart, so we'll see if that one comes together as well by the end. Front of the MX-5s, it is Rob Hartley. John Allen is starting to close now, and I suppose, Alex, as it goes on, that's when you're going to see the tyre advantage come into play, really, for John Allen.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've been nip and tuck, but yeah, 3.8 seconds to Holmes, so still 5 odd seconds to the leader. Just
You've got to think that
these
Holmes
guys
is really going to protect his teammate as well, though.
Yeah, and these guys are so evenly matched. There's just no way he's going to catch 5 seconds up. You know, if we had half the race to go, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. There's absolutely no chance. I wouldn't have thought. Oh, I mean, he's 4/10 quicker than Hartley on that last lap, but that's not enough time.
That would just be traffic, to be fair.
Yeah, we'll see what it is this time round. But I think
Over the rear positions, Scott Brooks and Michael Monaghan. Just over 15th and 16th. The black car with the red stripe of Monaghan and Brooks, and Michael Monaghan, to show some cars that might not have got safe.
Well, Michael Monaghan, is it?
Michael Baguette. Ah, yes.
And then Raymond Bader Jr. Also hasn't had any airtime at all tonight, so there he is. But another driver. Well, he's got Brooks behind him, 1.1 seconds, so that might.
Monaghan and Brooks actually, Alex, very close together. It looks like they're both catching. Oh no, Bader's pulled away from this. So Bader was last, wasn't he? And I think he's managed to just drive clean past these guys. What's up?
Wheel to wheel between Jeff Jacobs and Leon Wright as they go through the final chicane. This is over 7th and 8th.
Well, we said it might happen. We have received the battle then between these two. It's very close to the final corner.
He carried around the outside there by Jeff Jacobs was tremendous, but who's going to be latest on the brakes? It looks like it's going to be
it's very
Jeff Jacobs.
Very close. Here we go then. This is the bit side by side. Turn 2 and 3.
Look at the braking.
Jacobs trying around the outside.
Somehow there's still enough space on the track.
Leon Wright gave him the room there. He's going to try and charge up the inside. That's where Shiflett and Ruddock had the contact earlier on. And Shiflett, speaking of him, there he is in the background. There's good driving that, Alex, between Jacobs and Wright, giving a lot of space, but racing fairly.
Yeah, there was a lot of room given there, and
Shiflett's closing these guys, by the way, about a second a lap, so chances are he's going to get through this.
Oh yeah,
like Daniel Bedingfield. There's a reference for you.
Oh,
Rob Hartley. Rob Hartley coming under pressure from Brian Holmes. But you've got to believe, Adam, that it's only going to be one car winning this race to give himself the best possible chance. It's unlikely that John Allen is going to be defeated now, that Rob Hartley's going to be defeated now.
It's going to be very difficult. Yeah, Mike down 4.7 seconds ahead. Look at this battle there as they go through the final corner. Jeff Jacobs, Leon Wright, soon to be Tyler Shiflett, off 7th, 8th and 9th. after the first corner. Quite no way through yet, but it is going to be a battle that's going to rage all the way to the end. And shifted on that last lap again, 1.7 seconds quicker than Wright, 1.5 seconds quicker than Jeff Jacobs in front. So took a good 1.5 seconds out of both of these guys in front of them. And yeah, as Griffith continues to lap slightly quicker than I was asking Mike Dean. Mike Dam, yeah, no way through.
7th place is up for grabs here, though, in this battle. So they've really got to go for it now. And Shiflett, who's closed on these guys very, very quickly, he has to just really go hell for leather and see what happens. Speaking of going hell for leather, 3rd place on the line between Pasquale Iannucci and Kevin Ford. Ford's still very, very close to the number 8 car. Pasquale Iannucci, who had an outside chance of winning the championship today, doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition for him. It looks like it's going to be 2 in a row for Mike Dam, but you can never count these things as gospel until they've actually happened, Alex, especially in sim racing.
No, yeah, one disconnect and it all transforms a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, obviously we don't wish that on anybody.
Mike Dam knows that quite a bit this season. It's happened
First
to him
round
on more
of
than
the
one
season it
occasion.
happened, didn't it?
It might have even happened
Daytona.
twice at Phillip Island.
Yep.
I don't know what happened at Road America. I think that might have just been a crash for Mike Dam. But yeah, he's had his. Whilst he's been on the pace, he's definitely picked up the most wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins to his name out of the 11 race meetings that we've had so far this season.
Don Allen's pushing hard here, but
The gap.
not going to be anywhere near enough, I don't think.
No, 3
See what
seconds.
He was half a second quicker on the last lap, though. He is gaining time. See what Rob Hartley does on this lap. 1:36.3, that's picked up the pace, hasn't it? Massively. He's quicker than John Allen on that lap, so that's just that extra bit in the tank, Alex, just saying, I've got this covered.
Yeah, like I said, these guys are so nip and tuck on their lap time, speed. All season long they've been so close. It's just the strategies is what's sort of won out, and I think this time Hartley and Holmes have nailed it with the decision to absolutely eke it out as far as they could on that first stint and go with 4 tyres and take no tyres and a little splash of fuel at the end.
Strategy by them. It usually is better making your last stop as quick as possible. Adam, sorry?
I was just going to say that Shiflett's got by Leon Wright, so Shiflett now into 8th position, right down to 9th, and it looks like those 3 have now spread out as the race enters its final 90 seconds. Whereabouts is Mike Dam on the circuit? We could be, this is going to be, he's on the penultimate lap, and he gets to the line, he'll be starting the final lap of the race and of the season.
It's been an interesting season for Mike Dam, Alex. Of course, he didn't have.
Sorry. With a change for the lead in the Mazdas, Brian Holmes takes the lead.
Right, I guess they're just deciding that we can't lose anything from this position, so we're just going to go for it. Hartley versus Holmes is well and truly underway then. They're going to have a bit of fun, I think.
Why not? Final lap of the season.
White flag is out now for Mike Dam.
These guys are starting their penultimate lap then. As they go over the top of the hill, these are going to be 2 of the last drivers to cross the line.
Unless Mike Dam gets them on this lap.
I don't think he will. They're only 4 seconds quicker at best, aren't they? So
He might get John Allen. He'll be close, I think, for that. But
oh yeah, that will end the fight, won't it?
yeah, John Allen gets trapped a lap down.
Allen, yeah. Dam to Griffith is 4.8 seconds. That's well and truly done and dusted. Iannucci and Ford closing in, but cannot get by Pasquale Iannucci. So it's not been a perfect season for Mike Dam. We talked about disconnections and things like that, but when he's been in the race and been unaffected, Alex, he's really, really been strong. And even without Clint Vigas' challenge this season, he's had some strong competition and he's had to deal with it all.
Yeah, he has indeed been fantastic.
Late drama, wheel to wheel, Iannucci and Ford for the final spot on the podium. Look at this.
Sorry, that's happened because There was 7 tenths between them, but here they come. We'll get Mike Dam crossing the line first, I think. Comes through the final chicane, left then right, and he's just got this long right-hander to go over the hill. He may just let these masters go, and that will help John Allen. He's still got a chance to win this race, but here comes Mike Dam over the line, and Mike Dam is the champion of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Fantastic work by him.
Oh!
Who's going to take this between Iannucci and Ford? It's going to be exceptionally close. Ford is going as wide as he can. He tries to get the momentum, but Iannucci's going to get third. Mike Griffith, of course, finishing in second place. And now Rob Hartley into the lead once more. Surely now he's not going to give this one up. Hartley from Holmes and then Allen. Final lap of the season for the MX-5s. Adam, it's been another great season for them.
Yeah, as close as always, and we're seeing it here in the final race, and strategy done by the two teammates here, Rob Hartley and Brian Holmes, worked to absolute perfection there. And it looks like they're going to take the win, but it looks like it's going to be the championship for Rob Hartley, and it looks like he's going to be leading them across the line, and he is going to be taking the title. Late drama in the, by the way, in the Mustangs off camera. A late pit stop for Tyler Schiffler. That was his third visit to the pits, so he dropped from about 7th place down to 11th. As here comes Rob Hartley through the final chicane.
Here goes then. Going to be close over the line. No traffic. Traffic for Hartley on the final corner. Going to come through. The title for him. Robert Hartley is the champion of the Master MX-5s.
What's wrong with Matthew Catila's car?
I was about to say, someone in the background going backwards to try and get to the line.
He's ended up towing back to the pits. Had enough. John Allen comes across. I believe it's going to be second for him, even with the dropped rounds in play. But yeah, he really had to beat Robert Hartley today. He tried his best with the strategy. Went off strategy a little bit, and well, he ran it close. Adam couldn't quite do it.
And he did try everything, and it looked like the strategy was going to work. But the two teammates of Hartley and Holmes, they had that ace up their sleeve with that late first stint. Completely the opposite to John Allen, and it worked a treat for them in the end. So when you feel the finishing order then from the final race of the season, Mike Dam the winner and the champion, Mike Griffith second, Pasquale Iannucci in third, just holding on. Kevin Ford now makes it fourth place for Ford in the end. Stephen Thomas finishing in 5th, Scott Kennedy 6th, Jeff Jacobs 7th, Leon Wright in 8th, 9th Russell Ruddock, and 10th for Michael Burgett. Tyler Schiffler finishing in 11th, 12th for Branton Whitworth, 13th for Matthew Catila, 14th for Raymond Bader Jr., the Canadian Scott Brooks finishing in 15th, 16th for Michael Monaghan, and then Robert Brist in 17th. Then the winner in the Mazda MX-5s and the champion in the class, Rob Hartley, the man from Carolina. Second, Brian Holmes. Third for John Allen. Fourth, Dave Payton. Fifth for Tom Raffshay. Sixth for Travis Fenke. That late spin after the second round of pit stops put pace to what was turning out to be an okay race for him. Geordie Fike finishing in 7th in class. 8th for Richard Losper. 9th Mike Taylor. 10th Chris Torman. 11th for Edgar Sanchinelli. 12th for Michael Key. 13th Dan Carrido. And we only had one retirement during the race. A testament to how close and clean the racing has been this season in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, and that was Michael Ruddock out of the race on the opening lap.
Thanks, Adam. Very competitive race again out there tonight, and what a great way to end the season. We've seen all year. It's been a fantastic championship, and Alex, what are your thoughts on the season? And who's been the stars of the show for you?
Yeah, well, two very worthy winners, I think, of the championships out there. So Dam didn't have it all of it his way, a couple of disconnects, and we kept talking about obviously him bouncing back and things like that. And he did that whenever he needed to, and just got himself back into the lead of that championship and didn't look back. So fully deserved. There was some great new additions as well to that series and that class as well. Really made that the races quite exciting. So looking forward to seeing if they come back next season. And of course,
No, let's not forget Mikey Grahams, who
Yeah.
wasn't here tonight for the final round, but
Yep.
he gave it everything all season as well.
yeah, absolutely. So there's some really good drivers coming through, and another season in the car is going to make that championship even closer. And then Hartley, great performance, Alan again. I mean, to be fair, the likes of Holmes, Alan, Richard as well for winning the I think he's won the Open Series if I'm not mistaken.
Chances are, he was very strong.
Yes, Svenky. I mean, they're all so close. They all need a shout out really, because they've really provided us with some fantastic racing. So it's been all round. It's just been a really good series.
Right, and I believe that we've got Mike Dam joining us in the commentary box. Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. How you doing?
Very good. Probably not as good as you, though, at the minute. Second championship in a row for yourself. Take us through that race, because it looked like a bit of a tough start, but you seemed to get the pace right later on in the race, getting the rhythm, and then it seemed to be fairly plain sailing from then on.
Yeah, you know what? That was a pretty crazy start. We haven't had that close of competition at the top at the start of a race for a long time. So that was really cool to see so many guys battling for that number one spot. It got a little hairy there for a bit. So, I mean, there was one spot where we were 4 cars within a couple milliseconds. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's not been the smoothest season for yourself, considering maybe how last season went, but still found a way to pull it out. You look like you've actually improved the pace of the car, especially in the second halves of races. You seem to have just stepped up another gear.
Well, in these endurance races, I kind of have my own little strategy here. It works pretty good on this track because I was able to hold the draft, which is pretty decent here actually. If you're within 1.5 seconds or so. So I kind of planned it out. I didn't go crazy at the start. Mike Griffith, who was running some really good laps there. I knew I had to get by.
Definitely seemed to work out for them. Adam, have you got anything for Mike?
As I remember to turn my mic on. Mike, well done on the championship. Dominating move. But what was your highlight of the season? You've been on the pole position quite a few times, but which race victory stood out the most?
I don't know. I think probably my favorite race of the season was Bathurst. Running on that track with Clint there. That was some pretty crazy stuff. We got into it in the final corner. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, do you?
He caught some air and just nailed me. But but it's been some really good racing this season. Every race, a different guy steps up. Mikey Grahams has been really fast. Pat Iannucci has been really fast. It's been a really good season. I wish Clint could be here for the second half of the season, because that would have been even crazier.
We hope to see him back next time as well. I know it's probably a stupid question, Mike, but are you coming back for next season?
Yes. I wouldn't miss it.
There we go. A little exclusive there on Apex Racing TV. From Mike Dam. Alex, anything for the champion?
No, just nothing really further to add apart from just my congratulations, really.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a blast. Thanks for covering this whole season for us. And I'd like to just thank all our sponsors and the admins, Kevin and Jeff, for putting this on. It's been a really good season, and it's been a really good job by them. So, also I want to thank just all the drivers. It's been awesome, and I think it's just going to get better from here. So it's getting really competitive.
Yeah, and it'll only continue that way, I think, too. Mike Dam, thanks for joining us in the commentary box, my friend, and we'll see you when next season begins.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Mike Dam, now a 2-time champion.
Hello.
And Rob Hartley now joins us in the commentary box. And Rob, looks like you are the champion again. Well done. Take us through that final race, because the strategy really was what did it.
Oh, yes. It was been working hard for this one. But it was a big pack at the beginning, you know. I just tried to play it cool till the first pit stops, and John Allen and Travis, everybody started pitting early, trying to work the strategy. And me and Brian, we just stayed out as long as we could, because my strategy was to take 4 tires at the first stop and then just a splash and dash at the end. And it worked out for me.
Yeah, obviously you have to sacrifice the start of the race a little bit, so the middle part of the race. But once you'd settled on that strategy, it's obvious that you had a clear plan, and that really helped you in the second half, didn't it? And obviously doing the splash gained a lot of time. We thought John Allen might have been able to get quite close to you at the end, but it looked like you just had enough pace in hand. Obviously with a very light car, where you could just gain a couple of tenths when you needed to.
Yeah, I kept catching everybody just right. The Mustangs were giving me a good draft, and I was just trying to draft them for as long as I can when they come past. And luckily it held. I was real close on fuel too, so I was kind of lifting a little bit here and there. Then Bry had a good run. Brian, he passed me there a couple laps to the end. I was able to get him back. And then that last lap, I got a big draft off Dan. So he wasn't able to get a run on me, but it was a good race.
Yeah, and very, very good result in the championship. You've had a pretty good season. Last season was pretty difficult for you. It seemed like a lot of incidents and things like that. But this season, everything seems to have gone pretty smoothly.
Yeah, last season I ran out of gas probably 4 or 5 times right at the end of the race, and this season was able to turn that around
as well.
Yeah, this season got podiums every race, so worked hard for it.
Yeah, and get the rewards there. Alex, got anything for Rob?
Yeah, just congratulations again. Andrew, you asked Mike this question, but you're going to be coming back for next season?
Oh yeah, definitely. I wouldn't miss a season in Extreme Motorsports. It's
Good
one of
stuff.
the greatest leagues to race in, I think.
Well, I'll be interested to find out what the little extra introductions are going to be made that I think Frank sort of alluded to in our interview with him. So yeah, I'll be see if that spices it up a little bit more for you guys.
Yeah, we're about to figure out what that's going to be here in a minute. They're going to tell us also.
Right. Well, we'll let you go. I think anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
I'd definitely like to thank all the admins involved with this league, and Frank from Ricmotech, our sponsor, and TD's Tree Service, also our sponsor, and thank y'all for broadcasting this.
Awesome. Thank you very much, mate. Go and enjoy the victory, and we'll catch you again next season.
Thank you.
Yeah, Adam, it's been, compared to last season, at least for Rob Hartley, a much smoother ride for him, and really deserving champion.
Yeah, he's become really experienced in this car, along with this and racing in the BSR Mazda MX-5, so really got to know the ins and outs of the Mazda MX-5, and I'm sure that's had a help in terms of the strategy, which works incredibly well today, and he was able to get the race victory. And when it first looked like for us that John Allen had been able to ace the strategy and get out of that traffic early, it was those two teammates that worked together and were able to come out on top. And yeah, a thoroughly deserved title for Rob Hartley in the Mazda MX-5.
Yep. Alex,
who do you want next? We'll do a couple more. Sorry, guys. Obviously, it's closing in on 4 o'clock in the morning for us, so we might not be able to get you all in.
To go maybe for John and Pat, then I would have thought.
Yep.
Oh no, John and Mike. Sorry, maybe get Mike Griffith in. Right, so I believe Adam is standing by then with Mike Griffith.
Oh, Mike, then end of the championship. Tell us about your race at Road Atlanta today.
It was good. I didn't quite get the qualifying lap I wanted, so fourth was the best I could get. But that first 2 laps I was fighting to try to take the lead, and that was hairy, but it was fun. It was good to lead. And then I knew I had the pace, so I decided to take the short stint, and I didn't take lefts on the first stop, which was the mistake. So Mike caught me in the second stint. I knew he was going to get me. I just tried to hold off second. So it's a good finish for the season. Obviously, I'm just looking forward to next season. Frank's been awesome. I got good gear, so I'm just looking forward to next season.
It's been a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it, for you? Really, you've had the highs with the win at Road America and the runners-up finish today at Road Atlanta, but you've had disconnects at Suzuka and at Sebring, so you'll be hoping to get a bit of stability next season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the beginning of the season was rough. This is the first time I've ever driven the Mustang, so it was getting to know the car, getting to know the series, and I've just tried to get control of it. I had 1 or 2 races where I crashed out early or had some issues, so if I can clean that up, I'm hoping next season to fight Mike and Pat for the championship. So let's see what happens.
What's it like driving the Mustang then? Nothing really on iRacing like it.
Yeah, I'd previously driven the Mazda a lot, so it's kind of similar, but it's got some aero on it, so it's really interesting. It's really fun, and it's great that so many of these guys are so competitive that it was nice to get thrown in to these great drivers and actually be able to compete.
What was your opinion of Road Atlanta as a track? The strategy is similar in ways to Mid Ohio last week, but Road Atlanta a lot quicker.
Yeah, I love Atlanta. I've been down there a couple times for Formula Drift, so I know the track really well, and I've done lots of laps in iRacing on it. So same with Road America. The tracks that I've done well on this year are the tracks that I know the most. So it's just getting to know the couple others that I don't know that well, and hopefully string some good results together next season.
That's a question we've been asking all of the people that have been coming in for interviews today. Next season, plan to return to the series?
Absolutely. Frank, I'm running the Ricmotech car. Frank's been awesome. He hooked me up with some Thrustmaster gear for this season. So I hope to come back next year. I'm going to try to compete in the pro class. And like I said, I'm going to try to take the fight to Mike. And hopefully we can have a Mike and Mike fight for the championship.
Brilliant. Well, well done on the result today and well done on the season as a whole. Andrew, coming in for a quick word or something?
That was me, just quickly. Actually, it's worth pointing out that, of course, Mike, you did win the open class, so congratulations to that as well. So yeah, I was just checking the points going into this race. You were obviously leading that series, and with P2 today, you just cemented that. So congratulations. Was this first season for you?
First season with this series, and like I said, first time ever driving the Mustang. I didn't even own it before now. So
what a great way to come in. Yeah, so you win that sort of win the Open Series, and really interested to see how it all pans out when you hit the Pro Class next year.
Yeah, should be good fun.
Cool. Well done on the season, and thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us, Micro.
Appreciate it, guys.
There he is. And for the final interview of the season, who's it going to be?
And Brian Holmes then. So Brian joins us in the commentary box, and can you hear us, Brian? First of all,
yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Andrew.
Oh, we've got John Allen as well. Excellent. Brian, you've had a battle pretty much all season with your teammate Rob Hartley. You've been very, very close on pace, and today. Giving him a hand trying to win the championship, and it was successful, and you must be really pleased for the team.
Really pleased for the team, but I weren't giving him no hand. He was flying today. He did a great job. He deserved champion. Oh,
you were racing all the way through there?
I was trying to, yeah. The strategy came into it with the fuel at the end, so it's one of them. With these races, the endurance race, you need to make sure you got enough fuel for the end, and I thought it was really short. So once it got down to the last 2 laps, that's when I could push. Got a little bit of draft off down at the end, and it just stopped the chance that I had of overtaking.
Yeah, that's what he said as well when he came in. Overall, is this this is just me being dense, so forgive me. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, of course, as you know. But this the first season you've been in this series, isn't it?
It is first season.
So
great season.
Yeah, sum that up for us and tell us what it's like being in this league as opposed to some of the other leagues you've been in the past.
Very, very different. The way this league is run is spot on. They don't miss a trick on anything. Anything is spoke about after the race or before the race. It's just really great to be in. And the guys that you race against, like John, Rob, Travis, all the rest of the guys, it's just superb.
Yeah, and really, really close competition in the MX-5, and we've said time and time again that iRacing have just got this MX-5 really spot on this new Cup car, of course, and it just seems to provide brilliant racing, doesn't it, every week?
Yeah, it does. Every single week. Door handle to door handle. You can't beat it.
Can't indeed. I know it's late for yourself as well, mate, so it will give you a chance to give a shout out to the sponsors and team and whoever, really.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kevin and the guys for letting me race this season in Extreme Motorsports. Been a great season. Been a pleasure racing with everybody. I'd also like to thank the sponsors of TD's Tree Service and Frank at Ricmotech.
It's probably a little bit of a daft question, but coming back next time?
I'm right.
Good. There you go. That's the right answer. Boys, anything for Brian?
No, I'll let him get a head start on going to bed.
Yeah.
Cheers, Adam, Alex.
I'm standing up. I've got to stand up, otherwise I'll fall asleep in my rig right
Yeah, you're
now.
not the only one. I've got to be up for work in 4 hours.
Yeah, so if you hear a clatter, it's Alex. He's gone. Take it easy, Brian. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers. And no offense to anyone else, but it is quite nice to speak to a British driver as well at this time in the morning.
Yeah.
And
he's just
feeling the pain,
He's just as
like
crazy
us.
as us, isn't he?
That's it. Another man who's crazy, but it's mostly because of fuel strategy. John Allen. Hello, mate.
Hey there, Joe, guys.
We went for the early pit strategy again. Didn't quite work today, but it's still like a pretty good race for you out there.
Yeah, it's really a roll of the dice on a track that's this short with this many multi-class cars. But I wanted to pit earlier, but there wasn't, until I pitted, a chance to come out in a pocket in the Mustangs where I wouldn't have to be right in the thick of them. I saw like a 6-second gap where they had split up a little bit, and that's where I wanted to land. So that was the goal of the first time, so I could dictate, how I let people by as a single car instead of a group. That's worked well for me in the past. So, but there was still another stop to do, and a couple near misses on some of the multi-class traffic. Car took a bump or two, but it didn't really take any damage. It was just as quick, and so I don't think that had anything to do with it. I could not believe that. I was sputtering across the line, and I was sure that as the minutes wound down, I would have something for Robert and Brian, that they just had to be running out of fuel. And to the point, I actually got on the radio and negotiated with Mike as he was reeling me in on his white flag lap, not to pass me before the line, so that I
just
could,
in case,
just in case they sputtered, I could still be on their lap with one more to go. But they had it dialed in.
Were you surprised that the tyre advantage didn't really manifest itself a bit more for you?
Well, I went with only 2 on the first stop, while there hadn't been much wear on the other side, and that was only good for about a lap. It's really good. We learned that at Mid-Ohio, too, that coming in, if you get 4 tires, 1 lap, maybe 2, it makes a huge difference, and then, it's already gone. It's not a slow fade. It's like a light switch. It works great, and then you're back to worn tires. So it didn't have that much effect, honestly.
Maybe a bit of a daft question, but are you going to be back for next season?
Absolutely. Yeah, when I joined, it was season 2, and I rattled off back-to-back wins. And now since then, I've seen Robert come and Giuseppe, who wasn't able to join us this season, and both catch and pass me. They both now have 3 wins for the season, and I'm still sitting here on 2. So I'm really jonesing to get back up there.
Yeah, 3 champions in the 8 seasons then, and well, you'll be hoping to keep it that way next season, but for yourself to getting that 3rd one, like you say.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonesing
John,
for it.
As usual, mate, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure watching you race this season. Just give us the usuals, really: sponsors, teammates, friends, family, whoever.
Well, for those that do watch, I appreciate it. It's as I've begun to dally a little bit in the real world racing, this does actually play a role in kind of honing your focus and your muscle memory when you can go to tracks that you've been to, here in the sim community in real life. So that's a lot of fun. But as far as this particular series, you guys put on a great broadcast. It gets better all the time. Glad to have TD when he can make it, but always his presence as a sponsor is appreciated. Kevin and Jeff, another season in the books, and well done. I mean, they just that are organized all the time and represent the Extreme Motorsports 99 group. Perfect. Frank, of course, at Ricmotech. It's looking like I'm going to have to give him a call and upgrade the equipment if I'm going to have something for these guys. But certainly he has a lot of it available for anybody who's looking.
That's it. We spoke to Frank earlier on, and he's very happy with you guys as well as the series, and he won't be going anywhere anytime soon anyway. That's a good thing. So, thanks very much, John, and hopefully we'll see you next season.
Look forward to it, guys. Thanks.
All right. Right, fellas, we're over for the season.
That one flew, didn't it?
I know it did.
Brilliant championship, and I think the alarm bells rang last week for me when you guys said, "Oh, it's the last one next week," and it's just been such a fun season to cover once again. Thank you to everybody as well for watching over the season. If you guys have been watching all season, please give us a subscription. Please as well share the broadcast with your friends as well. Anybody who's interested in sim racing or just racing in general, because these guys, this is one of the best leagues in the world, and these guys need as many eyes on the product as possible. I think Alex, you'd agree from a broadcaster's point of view, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the more we can help each other spread the word of the series, the better.
And Adam, just quickly, John touched on something there that this series really does help his real life racing. We've seen Ashley Sutton, of course, absolutely starring in the British Touring Car Championship over the last couple of years, and Rory Butcher has now been announced that he's going to be in the BTCC car, or at least partly of the rest of the season. So it can't be a coincidence, can it, about how it builds your racecraft and it builds the speed?
Well, yeah, it's that and vice versa as well. We heard one of the drivers that we were interviewing earlier say that they used their knowledge from going to Road Atlanta for the Formula Drift events for their knowledge on the track here. So, the two worlds of sim racing and real racing can really help you. And we saw that here today, and we're seeing it over in the British Touring Car Championship.
Right then, and that just about brings us to the close of the season here in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, presented by TD's Tree Service. That's all we've got time for here tonight, with just a quick mention that the BSR Formula Renault continues tonight at 8 p.m. And we've got the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, of course, as normal, on Thursday night. Well, what a season it's been here for these guys in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Mike Dam and Robert Hartley are your champions, and they're also your race winners tonight. From myself, Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, from our Racing World Championship driver, Alex Simpson, who, of course, has been providing all the footage this season. Thanks to Alex for that. But it's a big goodbye from us, and we're all off to get some sleep. So we'll see you later. Thank you.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live coverage Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.